On Saturday, November 2nd, starting at noon, Kevin Williams is helping sick kids by playing video games. He needs your help to raise $1,000 for the CHIO Foundation. Donate at extra-life.org/participants/347-875.
Lights, camera, action. Cut!
Welcome to Ropes to Reels, part of WrestleMedia, where everything is wrestling, and wrestling is everything. I'm at Adam Kota.
That's Sir F.
It's hot, Drew.
It's freaking great, man.
I'm not complaining. I'm just saying it's hot, baby.
It is hot. We got the humidex at 33 today, I believe, which is fantastic for me. I just helped a friend move, and I couldn't be happy. Like, here's the thing.
And you can't move today.
I can move fantastic. This is still like an hour after. Mm-hmm. So I'm still on that like moving adrenaline.
Right.
How you when you do work.
Yes.
Like work that requires labor.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of have that blood flow, adrenaline,
the endorphins
pumping through. Like halfway through the show, I'm just going to be a huddled mess.
Okay.
But at the moment, the adrenaline flows.
So patrons, if you want to hear all that puddled mess, go to patreon.com/WrestleMedia.ca, because that's about the halfway point of the show.
That's very true.
So there you have it, right
very
there.
True.
It is hot. Things are heating up, both at the box office with Hobbs and Shaw, which is next week's big attraction. Actually, you know what? At the time of this recording, I want to see how much money the movie has made. Because that's kind of I shouldn't say, I was going to say that's kind of important to me, but I am kind of interested to see.
You know what? I screwed up.
Oh, you did?
I did.
Why did you screw up?
I watched Hobbs and Shaw before Fate of the Furious.
Wait, you did?
I've seen it already.
What?
Ready for next week.
Oh, good.
I've got it in my notes.
I'm going to be waiting until next week to watch it, like a proper reviewer, but that's okay. That's fine.
Proper reviewer. I got prep time.
Right now,
I can go see it again.
Right now, I was going to say, it's only made $8 million. That's ridiculous. That's Thursday's box office. So let's talk about Hobbs and Shaw. Well, here's the top story on Box Office Mojo as of August 4th, so 3 days ago at the time of this recording. Hobbs and Shaw off to $180 million global launch, which is kind of amazing. Let's check out the box office and see what's going on right now, because it doesn't say what it is currently. So what is the top grossing?
You know what baffles me? I don't know if it's just a pattern I've noticed or if this is like statistical numbers.
Right.
But it seems like the movies that do really well overseas, like in Eastern countries or whatever, are the ones that go like over 2 hours. Like those exceptionally long films, the ones that are kind of stretched out a little bit.
Do you think it's maybe because there's more bang for the buck?
I don't think so. No, that's the entire reason why Venom is so successful over there, because it's garbage. Venom is a garbage movie, but it lasted that long and people loved it. Now you'd think the same would be said for something that was given just as much attention, like the Pacific Rim sequel. However, that was only like an hour and 40 minutes.
Okay.
So it wasn't 2 hours, which is maybe why it failed. I don't know why I noticed this. I don't know if this is even something that's mathematically correct or if I'm correct.
Right.
But I want it to be thrown out there that I saw this, and I want to know if this is a thing. Because this movie is long. So
yeah.
If this
2 hours and 16 minutes.
If this succeeds overseas, gets its budget back, and then plus some, then my theory still stands. Well,
it might have to, because looking at it right now, again, according to Box Office Mojo, the domestic total as of August 6th is $74,424,900. Now, that's a lot of money, but let's also remember that the budget for this thing is at least $200 million, and that article before said it was, they were looking at making 180 over the week. Well, it hasn't done that.
Well, let's see. The weekend is coming up, and remember, it's over 2 hours. I want to see. I think.
I mean, we do have the international market.
We do have the international.
Where it could be making most of its money. I am kind of curious to see what's coming out this weekend to give it some competition. We got Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark,
which I'm going to watch on DVD.
The Kitchen,
which is a great book.
Dora and the Lost City of Gold.
That's a college humor skit to come to life.
It could offer some competition, though.
It could with kids.
That's what I'm saying. Families.
That's why Alvin and the Chipmunks makes all his money on Star Wars weekend.
I don't know what Brian Banks is, but apparently it's opening. And The Art of Racing in the Rain, which I think looks ridiculous. Yeah. I mean, it's so weird. I think it's because we've been so inundated with movies that, do over that 100 million mark on the opening weekend that, we look at something like Hobbs and Shaw making $60-70 million and we're like, kind of a disappointment. We've turned into Disney, or all the critics who were like, Solo was a flop. And it's like, Solo wasn't a flop. Like, look at the numbers.
It didn't make triple its budget.
Yeah, it didn't make like regular Star Wars numbers, sure, but it wasn't a flop. It did well. So, yeah, I don't know.
It's either a huge success or a tremendous failure.
But, of course, what we'll be talking about is the box office next week for Hobbs and Shaw. I think we'll have a better idea of what's going on once some of those international markets break out. And once it's been in theaters for a week or two, we'll see if those numbers go up or if they go down. Something tells me they'll continue to grow into next weekend because I don't think any of those movies that I mentioned really stand a chance.
No, and from what I've seen, this movie's going to get money.
I hope so, man. It looks fun.
But I really should not have watched this one before Fate of the Furious.
Has it tainted Fate of the Furious?
Because... oh dear, oh dear! This movie not as good as I remember.
It's different. I'll tell you that much.
They tried different, and then they just kind of didn't.
I will admit, there's some stuff about this one that I think is better than in any of the other ones, and we're going to get to that in just a minute. Before that, though, we want to talk about some other things that are heating up around the entertainment world on the box office end, absolutely, but also in the world of pro wrestling. Because you happen to know it's SummerSlam week, baby. Whoop, whoop. If you're listening to this, actually, then we are on the eve of Never Say Never from the Union of Professional Wrestlers, which, of course, WrestleMedia will be at. Live, baby, live. Live, baby, live. That's a quote from Ready to Rumble, by the way, just so you know. When they're talking about going to Monday Night Nitro. Live, baby, live. Live, baby, live.
Right, that's good, yeah.
I've committed most of that film to memory, so those little
Gee,
moments.
if only we had a full episode depicting how you know that godforsaken thing.
Go check it back in the archives.
It's easy.
It's episode 100. it's the big one. So we're going to be there. Live, baby, live. With our table, with our booth, hang out, enjoying some of the incredible action. If you haven't got your tickets yet, you still can get them. It's at the Transact Club in Toronto, where, of course, WWE will be putting on a little show on Sunday. But there are other events happening throughout the week where WrestleMedia is going to be there, including the Summit on Saturday morning, Bull Nakano, Mercedes Martinez, Jordan Grace, Lufisto, Shotzi Blackheart, so many other names that are basically the best women wrestlers in the world. You got to check this thing out. We're going to have a table there as well. That's over at the Met. And you've got to go and see it. Get your tickets, smash-wrestling.com for more information for that event. And of course, the following week, we've got some big stuff happening. We're going to be part of Fighting Back 9, which is going to include talents from AEW. Cody is going to be there. Joey Janela is going to be there. MJF is going to be there. The Dark Order is going to be there. But you know who is not going to be there, Drew?
No, wouldn't.
You, if you haven't bought your tickets, because it's sold out. Not the WCW awful pay-per-view, but the fact that there are no more tickets left, which is great because all the ticket proceeds go to the Canadian Cancer Society. It's a charity event, one of the biggest of the year, and I'm so excited that WrestleMedia gets to be a part of it. Then the very next night, we're going to be at the Chinlock Wrestling Academy in Napanee. We're going to be there for the Fallout event. CJ Felony going to be taking on Jan Murphy for the Kale Memorial Championship. And just announced this week, Drew, Beautiful Bia will be defending her Chinlock Championship for the first time against Jessie Mack, the woman who was never pinned to lose the championship. Some real emotional stuff happening at Fallout. Make sure you are there. And also make sure you check out our YouTube channel. By the time you're listening to this, there may be a new video documenting my weekend out at the Muskoka Con and cosplay wrestling. It got hairy. It got ridiculous. It got weird.
That's why you had that mustache.
You're going to want to check it out for sure.
All right.
All right. Now that the shilling is out of the way, Drew, why don't we talk a little bit about this movie and ask a very important question, one that we ask every single week.
What in the flatulence flying F-150 does this have to do with professional wrestling?
I just see a farting truck now in the air. I know you mean the plane, but that's what I think when I think of F-150. Well, of course...
Wait, is that a plane? I was thinking a truck.
F-150 is a truck. I don't know if it may be a plane, but I don't know. I'm not a gearhead. I don't know these things.
The only time I ever saw an F on a plane was Eminem's latest album, but it was F-U, and I think it was a joke.
Ha. The Rock is back in this one. That is our connection to pro wrestling. And I think this is by far his best performance in the Fast and Furious series.
So far.
So fun.
You have not seen. But anyway, that's for another week.
Yes.
You know what? It tells me exactly that they knew what they had with that soccer game. That was when I'm like, all right, he's finally they let him
be The Rock.
They let him do whatever the heck he wants now. He's giving the girls a Samoan chant, and it's awesome.
And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that he has some great chemistry with Jason Statham. Those two play off each other really well in this movie. I'm not surprised that all of these two got a spinoff.
No, it made absolute sense. However, this is the movie that retconned Hobbs.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
He used to be from Houston, Texas.
Oh, right.
And then this movie's like, nope, he's Samoan. Okay, Fast and Furious. Okay.
Well, look, they played with time travel. Why not play with time and space as well? Or is this not even part of the timeline? Is this an alternate reality? I mean, you said it was way different from the other ones, and it is. Maybe they're playing with it. Maybe they're like, oh, you know what? It's just an alternate reality. Or they don't care.
I was going to say, the DC TV shows right now on CW are about to do something called Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Yeah.
Now, do you know about the comic book history of this?
Kind of, sort of. Basically, the Flash goes really fast and he screws up the timeline.
No, that's Flashpoint.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
No, Crisis on Infinite Earths was about 80 different writers of DC Comics wrote their own stories, and the overall world got convoluted as all heck.
Okay.
So Crisis on Infinite Earths was there like, it was different universes where Superman decapitated Lex Luthor. It wasn't the one here. But you know what? Crisis on Infinite Earths, the worlds collide, and now all the things that we hated don't happen anymore.
Were you absolutely required to listen to Power Man 5000 while reading those comic books?
I don't know what that means.
Because they had that song, When Worlds Collide?
Oh, no.
Okay. Were you required to watch the AAA event, When Worlds Collide, back from 1994?
No.
No, you should have been. It was great.
I don't think you're cluing in. I know all of this because I was a part of that.
Oh, okay. All right.
Or no, I wasn't a part of that. It happened beforehand. But my uncle had a comic book collection, and I was like reading, and then
maybe you were a part of it on another Earth.
Dude, don't break me.
Just saying.
This movie already did that with its stupid ice driving.
Talk about the ice driving, then.
The ice driving.
Because they're chasing a submarine.
They're chasing a submarine on ice where their tires have full traction. Cool. Don't care. They don't need scarves or anything to protect their face. Yeah, I don't care. Cool. The Rock doesn't need sleeves because that is the one part that made sense.
He does not need sleeves.
He never needs sleeves. In fact, that'll come up again next week. Remind me about sleeves.
Okay, I will.
But it was just, this is the moment where, granted, the moment could be, you can make an argument that it was when two cars were pulling a safe. You could make the argument it was when the runway was just far too long.
Yeah.
You can make the argument of almost anything for this movie. But it was the moment when The Rock turned a torpedo with his hand that I'm like, all right, I understand now. This is not serious. But the movie didn't.
What do you mean? The movie did not understand that.
This is my major problem with this Fate.
Okay.
This is why I should not have watched Hobbs and Shaw first.
Okay.
Because, kind of a bit of a spoiler for next week, it's exactly what you think it is.
It's a big, dumb, loud, dumb spelled D-U-M.
Yes, but you think you've experienced that with... No. They go all out.
Okay.
Just, if you watch the trailer and you think this is dumb, they already thought that, and they said, we can go dumber.
They said, hold my beer.
They said, hold my protein.
So lots of testosterone. A lot of tea flowing around in that movie.
Much. Anyway, but the movie, The Fate of the Furious, takes itself far too seriously than it has to.
Okay.
With a Rock moving a torpedo by drifting, literally, and the cars surviving on the ice, everything just seems like really serious.
Yeah, but I think it's tongue-in-cheek. I don't think... See, because I think that was the problem with 6. And I think 7 learned to lighten up a little bit and enjoy the fact that it was stupid. And I think 8 kind of leaned into it as well.
A little bit more. It does. But the problem is, Hobbs and Shaw hits the needle perfectly.
Okay, but stop comparing to Hobbs and Shaw.
That's why
you can't do that.
That's why it's broken me. I'm explaining that...
Now I don't want to watch this movie.
No, you do. Because here, if you think you like Fate of the Furious, you don't.
Oh, all
You
right.
just haven't filled that void with Hobbs and Shaw. But anyway, so that's just my major gripe with this. Like, focus on the main story.
Right.
All right? It's about betrayal, the death of the family, Vin Diesel becoming a father.
Right, the father.
Oh, spoilers, but shut up. Becoming a father. And him saving a woman and killing another. Like, it's really heavy. Mm-hmm. But The Rock turns a torpedo. It just... I don't know. The balance just didn't fill it for me.
Do you think that's where the main conflict comes from? Because this is the movie where the rift apparently between Vin Diesel and The Rock happened. Like, they weren't talking to each other on set. I guess there were rumors that they refused to work with each other. And if you watch Fate and the Furious with that knowledge, it's fascinating. Because there are so many scenes where, especially like towards the end when they're doing the family dinner, they don't appear in the same scene together. They do not appear at any point in time together.
That's true.
There are shots with
Ludacris and Ty Griggs.
There's shots where Rock is like in the background and filmed from the back. And same thing with Vin Diesel when there's shots of The Rock. Like, if you could really make a case that, maybe they really did refuse to work with each other on the set because there's a lot of camera trickery going on there. Of course, that could also just be me playing into the lizard part of my brain and the, tinfoil hat.
Breaking the kayfabe.
Yeah, exactly. But it is kind of interesting when you go back and you watch this movie. And again, you're right. Different approaches, right? Like, clearly Vin Diesel, this is very important to him. Again, this is to him what Die Hard is to Bruce Willis. It's his baby. It's his franchise. You know what I mean? And he probably takes it very seriously because this is his opportunity to be seen by the most number of people doing acting.
Well, that's what this
real
is.
acting. You
That's
know
what
I
this
mean?
is. Okay.
Well, this is my theory. And The Rock is like, this is goofy as hell. We should be playing that up. And so if you have two guys who have two egos, and they do have egos, they're big stars.
And both of them have a production company which invested in the movie.
Absolutely, right? So they both feel like they have stakes in this, and they come at it with two different philosophies. You're going to butt heads. You're going to have problems on the set. I totally think that it could be something where, because The Rock and Vin Diesel have never really talked about why they have beef. If I was to put a theory out there, which I am doing right now, that's the guess. Rock wanted to turn the goofiness up on it and said, look, if we're going to do this, let's just do it all the way. And Vin Diesel was like, no, this is a serious movie. This is the philosophy. I bet you that's what it was. I bet it was two conflicting philosophies from two producers on the film who also happened to be actors who maybe both felt like they were the star.
I believe it.
Mm-hmm. Hey, this is a commercial for patreon.com/WrestleMedia.ca, where you can get early access to episodes of your favorite WrestleMedia shows, get full uncut and uncensored versions of your favorite shows, and more. Don't want to hear this commercial on your podcast anymore? Sign up at our main event tier and get these episodes ad-free. Want to hear your own commercial here instead of ours? We've got tiers for that too. Visit patreon.com/WrestleMedia.ca and join the WrestleMedia revolution today. But let's be honest. You know who the real star of this movie was? That baby scene.
That baby scene. Oh my God.
The best part of the movie.
Jason Statham dances.
Yes, he does.
Whenever he's...
And
here's the thing. You ever want to figure out, like, what is Jason Statham's deal? How did he become a thing?
Right.
Transporter 2. That is his best performance action-wise, in my opinion, because his fights are choreographed in not really a John Wick kind of way, because John Wick is like a ninja movie.
Yeah. More like a John Woo kind of way.
Kind of, yeah. Kind of, pretty, yeah.
Less John Wick, more John Woo.
Pretty much. And he brings his own style to it. And it's like immediate starstruck action hero movie for him.
Yeah.
And then he gets to display it with a new style in Fate of the Furious with a baby. It's fantastic.
It's so dumb. But I love it. I love I even love the corny, stupid jokes with the baby laughing at everything. Like, it's so over the top and ridiculous, but man, do I have a fun time watching that scene. Easily, not only I think the best scene in this movie, my favorite scene in the entire Fast and Furious franchise, hands down.
Hard to argue.
Easily. It's so much fun. Let's talk about Charlize Theron as the bad guy. I don't even remember her name.
Cyper.
Something like that. Okay.
Snake. I don't remember. I'll look it up.
She was all right. You know, I didn't mind her.
This is the problem with these villains. They're never allowed to just go.
Yeah.
Like, you have Luke Evans, who can be an intense actor. You hold him back. You have Jason Statham, who you held him back.
He was great.
A little bit.
Well, they didn't put enough of him in the last movie. That was my problem.
That's what I'm saying. The villains don't get enough of the push. Jason Statham had to come back as an anti-hero to actually get a baby scene. And then there's Charlize Theron.
That's how you know you've made it in Hollywood. Does it have a baby scene? If so, I'm on board.
If so, you can't beat Jason Statham. Yeah, and then Charlize Theron, who is, we know, a very intense actress.
She's phenomenal.
She doesn't get a chance to really go over the top and lean into it.
Yeah.
So it's maybe, because she's returning for the 9, apparently.
Oh, really?
Like, she signed on. So maybe it's
so she must have had a fun time.
I guess. I mean, it was an easy buck for her. Not really many costume changes, and she really just had to be stoic throughout the most of it.
Didn't have to sit under like 10 pounds of makeup like she has for those Oscar movies that she's been in.
Hey, she won.
I'm not complaining. She was great.
All right, let's see here. Cypher. I was close.
Cypher. Well, yeah, that makes sense. Pretty generic hacker name.
Yeah.
How did you feel about the story this time around?
I don't care. Like, I never cared about the other woman. Like, okay, I get that. Oh, you're a son. All right. I wanted you to pick the name. It's Brian. You're trying to hold me in suspense. What else? You gonna name him Ezekiel? It's not gonna happen. Like, I don't care. It's very set out immediately that he's being manipulated. Like, there's no mystery. Imagine if that photo scene never happened.
Yeah.
And he just turned.
Yeah.
That would have been much more interesting, because you're trying to figure out, maybe he is working with Cypher. Maybe blur that line a little bit. Don't have the next scene be him and Cypher going in to steal God's eye and then kissing. Like, have a little bit of mystery. Like, maybe he's not working with Cypher, and then when it's revealed he is, she might have some dirt on him. Like, play around with it, but it's like not even halfway through the movie. Like, just before the halfway point, it's like, you're controlling me. It's like, no, duh.
Maybe the idea, again, like, I'm just freestyling here. Do you think it was a thing where Vin Diesel was like, no, they wouldn't believe Dom as a bad guy, or the idea of that, like, the integrity of the character has to be kept as a hero? I'm
gonna go with the Jason Statham and Dwayne The Rock Johnson thing. That this is complete. I don't know if this is real. I just like,
this is your theory. That's fine.
Not a theory. This is something I read.
Oh,
I just don't know if it's like confirmed that this is the thing. They had it in their contracts that they couldn't lose in Hobbs and Shaw. If they were in a fight, they couldn't lose. I don't know, to maybe up their brand or something to show that they're the tough guys. I don't know. Again, don't know if that's true, but maybe that's the idea. You can't have Dom as a bad guy, because that ruins what Vin Diesel sees as Dom.
Do you agree with that, or do you think it's stupid?
I think overall it's stupid, but I think that's what it seems. It's plausible.
Okay.
I just think it's a dumb reason.
Let me ask you something, because we've been sitting back watching these movies week after week after week.
I've loved it.
After week. Do you find that you're a little numb to these movies by this point in time, or do you feel like they still bring something that makes you go, oh, wow, okay. I'll give the Fate of Furious credit. The baby scene does that for me, but the rest of the movie is pretty forgettable.
It is. It's Mission Impossible did it right.
Yeah.
You are not in for Mission Impossible. Frickin' his organization is blacklisting him. That is the plot of the last 3 movies. Right? You're not in there for the plot. You're here to see what Tom Cruise is going to do next.
Yeah.
The thing about Mission Impossible is they're able to make that plot actually kind of interesting. So you stick around. But then there's a giant motorcycle chase where Tom Cruise literally almost dies. I don't know. Have you seen Fallout?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what I'm talking about, right? Like the motorcycle through and the cars and...
It's great.
Love the stunt work. But that's what you're going in for. You're seeing, okay, he has to now jump it up a notch. What is he going to do? Oh, hang from a helicopter. Oh, that's fascinating.
Do you feel like the stunts in this one surpass the other ones, or do you think they're on par, beneath? What's your take on the stunts?
This one, to me, is same.
Yeah,
it's just
it's on par.
Ice. That's it. They just... Thank you. It's just snow. That's all they've added to it.
Fate of the Furious. Just like the other movies, but with snow.
But with snow. Seriously, unless they go to space, I don't know if I'll be satisfied.
Well, you've got your marching orders, Vin Diesel. All right, then. Let's talk about our ratings, then. What do we think of the movie overall? How would you grade it?
It's just like the rest of them. This is a
They're
mid-card.
mid-carders.
They're all mid-carders because they're such a niche audience. It's like with Mad Max, everybody's going to find something to appreciate in that film. You just have to experience. And even if you don't like it, you're not going to say you had a bad time.
Okay, of the, 5, 6, 7, 8, of the 4 that we've watched thus far,
Yeah.
how would you rank them?
Okay. I go, top one is 7. 7's the best.
Okay.
Right under is 5. And then I will go, they both kind of blend together for me, 6 and 8. You know what? For the baby scene, it goes 8th and 6th.
Yeah, I think I will go 7, 8, 6, 5. That's how I would rank
Yeah,
them.
you really did not like Fast 5.
It's again too serious. Like this one was Fast 5 was all Vin Diesel, and it feels like The Rock just crept much like his character, much like Hobbs himself, just got more and more as the series went on, and a little bit more levity to it, which I think is needed. I'm going to give this a mid card as well. It's fine. I've seen it once. Well, I've seen it twice now, but I think if I saw it once, that's probably all I needed to see it. I probably didn't need to see it more than that.
I could watch the prison scene again.
Yeah, like there are moments in this that are worth watching. Again, prison scene, baby scene.
He rips off a sink and crunches.
Even the torpedo stuff is fun, but the rest of it feels a lot like filler. And you're right. I don't care about Dom's story. I don't care about any of the other stuff. I just kind of want the spectacle. So yeah, that's really, I think, what these movies come down to. How much spectacle are you going to cram into that 2 hours? Cut it all out. Just give me 90 minutes of car crashes instead. That'll be fine for me.
Or if nothing else, let the charismatic people up front give Kurt Russell something more to do.
Did you say Kurt Russell?
Who did I say?
No, you said Kurt Russell.
Isn't that who it is?
Yeah. I just didn't realize that you felt he needed more in this film. We didn't talk about him.
Well, because it's Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
The man has this character going on of just the overcome. It's like Nick Fury without a monkey on his back.
Wait, Nick Fury has a monkey on his back?
No, more cat scratch on the eye, but same principle.
All right.
It's just he's got a bone, he's got a chip on his shoulder. He looks at the world through pessimistic eyes. Mm-hmm. Where Kurt Russell's like, I got you, Corona, because I know you. I know everything. I am the suave
More
one.
Tango and Cash.
Yeah, like have him be the Charlie to the Angels of Hobbs and Shaw. Just like they are the ones that are cocky, and he's like, hey. Big trouble in Little China. Listen, I'm the one that controls the scene right now. Both y'all need to sit down and shut up.
And that's what we're going to do for the moment. For anybody listening to us for free, thanks for joining us on this ride. We are going to kick back with our patrons in just a few minutes. We're going to talk some fun facts. We're going to talk some box office. We're going to talk about some critics. And we're going to talk about anything else we want regarding the fate of the Furious. Fate of the Furious.
It's fantastic. Oh, I got to get my
No,
challenge.
it's Fan Four Stick.
Don't you bring up that monstrosity to me.
What is the challenge, Drew?
Best winter action sequence.
Ooh, all right. I'm going to say Cool Runnings.
Ooh, what?
Just the whole movie.
You confused me for a second. My brain was like, all right, let's process that. And then after I was done processing, it's like, questions. I'm going with Inception.
Okay. That's interesting.
I love the
choice.
structure of that sequence.
Yeah, it's a good one. Does Cliffhanger count? I don't know if it's in the winter or not, but there's snow. I guess
Let's
you
do
said snow.
Yeah, let's do snow action sequences. So
Cliffhanger could be a
Inception.
Good one. Yeah,
their
there we
turn.
go. And then you, and you know how they can tell us that, Drew? You're right.
It's fine.
Is this the puddle moment? Are you having the puddle moment?
This is not a puddle.
Okay, all right.
This is I'm gonna be honest, going for a little anaphylaxis, but it's fine. Continue.
Did you piddle?
What?
Did you piddle instead of puddle?
Maybe.
Did you make a puddle with your piddle? Don't do that in this room. There's a litter box in the next one.
Oh, sweet. I can paradiddle there.
There you go. Oh, God. You can let us know what is the best action scene in snow via our social media. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at WrestleMedia.ca. Of course, there's another way that you can get a hold of us, and that's through the Contact Us form on WrestleMedia.ca, info at WrestleMedia.ca. And hey, while you're on the website, maybe you sign up for our newsletter. It's free. It's weekly. It gives you all the highlights of everything that happened in the week of WrestleMedia. Maybe even gives you some free previews or some cool contests. Keep your eyes open for that in the near future. Of course, if you'd like to join Drew and I in the second half, there's a real easy way to do that. Tell them about it, Drew.
It's a patron thing.
That's right.
We have tiers.
We do.
I don't know if we actually had them named yet. Did we name them?
Yeah, we've got them named. I can go and pull them up for you.
Here's the thing: the lightest tier, the easiest tier, is the one where you get to listen to like the uncut full episodes, not of this half nonsense.
Yeah, curtain jerkers.
Is that literally what you've called like the first tier?
Curtain jerkers.
That's fantastic.
Yeah,
and
you get the crowd warmed up. You're the starting tier.
Oh, I thought it was because Danny destroyed a curtain.
No. Although he has always been a curtain jerker.
That's fantastic.
Curtain jerker of life.
So like, yeah, you get and you get it early. Like this one comes out Thursdays
That's right.
for the patrons, and then everybody else gets it on Saturday.
Yipper.
Hey, I'm getting better at this.
You are.
All right. What else do they get? I think that's pretty much the big. You get other things.
Yeah, sure. Right, voting rights in the patron polls. They get the weekly stretch goal series when we release those.
Right, but then if you go a little higher, you go
mid-carder.
That's clever.
See, yeah, you're
kind of
going up the ranks.
I like that.
Yeah, see. So you get everything that the $2 and $5 tiers get. Plus, they get full access to the complete stretch goals at launch, so they can binge it. They don't have to wait every week like the $5 tiers do,
nice.
Right? And they get the uncensored extended podcasts.
I may curse in the patron part. You don't know.
And you also get thank yous and our video credits in the podcast descriptions.
I also accidentally said fart.
We should no, no, you didn't. It was not an accident. Which I love.
Let me guess what the final tier is.
Go ahead.
It's a main event.
You bet it is.
All right, so let's see. They get a lot.
They get everything.
They get pretty good with the jerker.
They do.
They get a little bit more with the mid card. What does the main eventer get?
Well, they get all of the stuff that you get with the $2, $5, and $10 tiers, plus extended, uncensored, ad-free podcasts. No more commercials. You just get to hear the podcast, which is awesome. Plus some exclusive series, quick picks, watch along Wednesdays, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Plus you get a shout out on the podcast of your choice. And a piece of WrestleMedia merchandise. How cool is that?
That's dope.
And then, of course, if you want to advertise to our free listeners, well, we've got little tiers for that as well. All of them are different. You can check them out over at patreon.com/WrestleMedia.ca. Now, of course, Drew, if our patrons or our free listeners want to help us out, there's other ways they can do that too. First of all, they can be our own personal Dave Meltzer, and they can rate and review us on iTunes by giving us 5 stars. Pretend this is a podcast in the Tokyo Dome. And, of course, the most basic way, just share it. Talk to people about it. Word of mouth. Yell at people on the street. Say, hey, go listen to Ropes to Reels.
Or you could just turn it on in your car speaker. Roll down the windows and just crank it.
That's right. Maybe
listen to my voice just pierce your ear holes.
Well, better than piercing any other holes. That's going to do it this week on Ropes to Reels. I can't believe we're almost at the end of 2 Ropes, 2 Reels month. Next week, we finish it off with Hobbs and Shaw. You excited?
You have no idea.
Well, until then, for WrestleMedia, I'm at Adam Kota.
That's the F word.
And when it comes to Fate of the Furious, F8 of the Furious, that's a wrap.
This has been a presentation of WrestleMedia, where everything is wrestling and wrestling is everything.
Here's what you're missing out on right now over at patreon.com/WrestleMedia.ca.
Do you think they'll replace the A with a 9?
No, I don't think that works.
Well, not like F9, but I mean like Fan 4 Stick, where it's not supposed to work as well as Fate, but they're going to throw it in there because that's what producing studios do.
No, God, no. I think they're just going to be like, no, Fast and the Furious 9. I think that's what it'll be.
They're going to screw up. They're going to call it something stupid. You know they're going to call it something stupid.
Okay. I honestly can't. I'm not smart or dumb enough to think of a way to work the number 9 into the title.
Well, luckily I'm both.
Want more? Sign up now at patreon.com/WrestleMedia.ca.